It's been 11 years since Samsung released the Galaxy S3, and honestly speaking, this device still remains one of the best the company has ever made. The Galaxy S3 in 2012 had every feature you could think of, and it was one of the most complete devices in the world. Years haven't been kind with this device, however, and naturally it has been forgotten by almost everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you if the Galaxy S3 is still usable in 2023. When it comes to the build quality, the Galaxy S3 feels very cheap in the hand. It is made of plastic, and if we compare it with more recent phones, you can see the difference in build quality is just massive. I remember when I was using this phone back then as my main device, I used to think that phones can't get any better. Well, as you can see, times change. This unit in particular has a lot of marks, but considering its age, it is a miracle that it still works. The S3, just like most of the phones back then, had the removable back, and it was a lot easier to change the battery. When we look at the front, you can see the bezels are just massive compared to its display. The Samsung Galaxy S3 has a 4.8-inch Super AMOLED display, and it is tiny compared to today's phones. Also, the pixel resolution is terrible, at just 306 pixels per inch, but at the time it was one of the best displays in the market. I tried to watch some videos on this phone, and honestly it was just a pain for my eyes. Even when trying YouTube videos it lags a lot, and the maximum resolution you can watch is at 720p. The latest version that the Galaxy S3 supports is Android 4.3, and the software experience on this device is terrible. Even at launch, the Galaxy S3 had a lot of bloatware pre-installed, that made the experience much worse compared to iPhones of that time. Today this phone is unusable, because most of the apps don't even work anymore. The Galaxy S3 has an old Exynos chip inside, and it can't basically do anything. This phone is only good for swiping and nothing else, and even then it lags quite a lot. The S3 did also struggle with RAM management its entire life, since it only had 1GB of RAM. The base storage is 16GB, but this phone has a feature that has been removed from latest Samsung devices, and that feature is the microSD card. The Samsung Galaxy S3 has an 8-megapixel camera on the back, and in 2012 I really loved this camera. Today, however, smartphone cameras have improved a lot in every category. To be honest, the pictures taken with the S3 are kind of decent in daylight. Sure, the dynamic range is non-existent, but pictures are still usable. In low light, however, this phone takes terrible pictures, and this is an area where phones have improved a lot. On the front it has a 1.9-megapixel camera, and it seems like a joke when we compare it with newer devices. Pictures taken with the front camera are just trash. On the other hand, the Galaxy S3 can at least shoot 1080p videos, even though it doesn't have any sort of stabilization. Video on the front is limited at 720p. The Galaxy S3 has a mono speaker, and sound quality is really bad. The speaker of this device is located on the worst possible place, and that is near the camera on the back. Even in 2012, the speaker position was criticized a lot because it was always blocked by the user's hand. It isn't, however, everything bad, since the S3 has a headphone jack that has been removed from recent Samsung devices. Probably the worst thing about this device in 2023 is the battery. To be clear, every phone that is used for a long time has a terrible battery nowadays, and so does the S3. This device can barely last a couple of hours, and even at standby it drains the battery very fast. The good thing about old devices is that you can change the battery very quickly since the back is removable, but I don't think this is even worth it anymore. The Samsung Galaxy S3 doesn't have a fingerprint scanner, but it has an option for a face unlock. This is, however, an early implementation and it is far from secure. I remember back then fooling the phone by using only pictures. So does the Galaxy S3 still work in 2023? Well, it kind of does, but the experience is terrible. The Galaxy S3 is 11 years old, and technology evolved a lot during this time. In 2023, this phone is only good for keeping it as an old-timer. This is the only reason why I still have it. Besides that, this phone is good at nothing. If you were a user of this device in the past, I would like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, then please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.